subscribe. Tariq Radio. Watch and subscribe.
Okay,
There you
hey.
go.
I finally caught you. I got a 3-day weekend. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
No, so my new saying is it's above me now. I took it from that one man,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna let the ancestors handle it.
Oh.
If we start putting that energy out in the thing, because they've been booked and busy on our behalf.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, but yes, it's real interesting out here.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, dear. Yeah, it's an interesting vibe out here. People, boy, they hate the fact that we have delineated, and they are just so desperate to drag us in the mix. Oh, they're so desperate to drag us in the mix. Out here in LA, they had some black immigrants out here doing a rally, and there's some FBA brothers. I think they came and kind of shut them down a little bit, but they were out here in LA off I think over there by Lamert Park talking about, yeah, this immigration, it is the black problem. 1 out of 5 black people in LA are immigrants. And this, they just went on. There wouldn't be such and such a Jamaican restaurant without immigrants. And then this woman was like, yeah, I come from an immigrant background. Uh, Nipsey Hussle wouldn't be no marathon if it wasn't for Nipsey Hussle daddy. I'm like, oh Lord, Lord. Boy, they were really trying to get us on the immigration is a black issue thing and all the black immigrants. And Nipsey Hussle's mama's FBA, by the way. My brother, his mother was FBA. But they were trying, they were just this desperate plea to try to get us to get on board with this, and then we're just tired. We're tired. That's why there's a lot of that animosity towards us because now they can't galvanize us under the big old minority coalition no more. Because we done that. We've already rolled out the red carpet for all these different groups, and it ain't worked out for us. That's why we're just not jumping up with the cape on. We've already done enough for all these other groups, and they've shown disdain, and they thought they were good with white people. They thought that they were the model minorities. They thought that they were going to shine on us, and then white people turned on them, and now they're looking back at us like, hey, no, we all the same, nigga. No, 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 no. Why can't we be together? No, no, no. We are disaggregating, all right, on our terms. We're delineating on our terms. They don't like that. See, they delineate from us all the time, but it's always on their terms. The non-FBAs and the dominant society, they help them do it. Y'all notice, man, a lot of stats that they put out, a lot of stats that's put out, they selectively disaggregate. Have y'all noticed that? And then they'll selectively lump us all together. Notice when it's something positive, the dominant society, they will disaggregate the numbers. When it's something negative, they lump us all together. For example, positive data will disaggregate in order to highlight immigrant success stories. When they start talking about high educational attainment or high income among Black people, the data, they'll separate African and Caribbean immigrants from foundational Black Americans. That's why the tether's always coming here. Hey, look, nigga, we are doing better according to the FBI stats. We got a higher income for our household, nigga. They come in with that bullshit. So they can try to create a narrative that they're just outperforming us. And we always point out, hey, no, 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 your income, your household income is higher because there's 40 of you niggas living in the house. Why would you say that, nigga? Yeah, because it's the truth. You see? See, negative stats, they don't distinguish lineage when it's negative. When they start talking about HIV, they just say Black HIV rates. They lump us all together. You see? When they start talking about incarceration and crime, they just lump us all together as Black. When you talk about STDs and all that, they lump us all together as black. When it comes to abortion, they lump us all together as black. Yeah. So yeah, they disaggregate when it's convenient and then lump us in when it's something negative. And we stop them from doing that. We stop them from doing that because now when a certain crime happens, we say, "Hey, wait a minute! Look at that dude's last name. That's not one of us. That dude's a foreigner." Why are we so divisive? No, because if you win something like that dude the other day, I talked about this the other day. This athlete, and he won some game and then did a press conference and pulled out a damn Haitian flag and wrapped himself around a Haitian flag, making sure that you delineate it. Okay, that's fine. You're going to delineate them crime numbers too. You're going to delineate them abortion numbers too. You're going to delineate them STD numbers too. Keep delineating. Y'all were the ones who started delineating first. All right. And we're going to keep that same energy. That's what we're doing. We're going to keep that same energy. You see? Let me get some more calls in here. Raise those hands. Raise those hands, ladies and gentlemen. Raise those hands. Let's get Don Juan in the building. Don Juan. Don Juan in the building. And shout out to everybody in here. Brother Don Juan, where you at? All right, Don Juan, you're not saying nothing? All right. Since Don Juan ain't saying nothing, we'll get G Rich in the building. G Rich in the building.
Good evening, brother Tariq. How you doing this
I'm
evening?
good, brother G Rich. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, man. It's been a while. I'll try and be brief. I know you got a lot of callers, but we've met before when you came down to my hometown of the Big Easy, and I did the FBA summit in Atlanta, and enjoyed myself. And it was always good talking with you and meeting you. And I actually met your mom, so it was a very nice woman.
Thank you so much.
Uh, Yes, brother. I will try and be brief. I have some questions. Just two brief questions I want to ask you. Do you think you mentioned earlier something about the Democratic Party, and what they've been doing? I'm just curious, what happens with right now with Diddy because his trial is wrapping up? Judge Joe Brown mentioned this on his program that he suspected some of those videos that Diddy might have had with Freakoff might have had politicians in compromising positions because Homeland Security was involved. And I'm wondering, do you think that that might have anything to do with what he's going through? And my final question I want to ask you, I remember you mentioned this before. Are you still planning to do a documentary on Dr. Cosby and what he went through? If so, I would be interested because I'm actually wrote a book on the Cosby situation. So that's what I want to ask. And I'll stop and listen.
Thank you so much. As far as Mr. Cosby, I've talked to Dr. Cosby about it. And it's an idea that we've thrown around. I haven't had anything planned. If I do it, I would want him involved, but he's laying low. He's really, as he should, as he should. He's just chilling, laying low. But I've discussed that with him. And shout out to Dr. Cosby. I call him Dr. Cosby. I have the utmost respect for him. He's still a legend, despite all of those bogus accusations against him. And as far as Diddy, yeah, Diddy probably on some of the videos, they probably found some blackmail stuff that he was holding on to, and that's why they put them bogus charges on him in order to basically kill his legacy. I think from what I'm looking at, it looks like he might get off. Look like they can't convict him based on the evidence because when we see everything that went down, it doesn't seem like coerced trafficking. Everybody was consensual. Cassie was up here begging to be freaked off. So yeah, it's hard to sit up here and say that you force somebody to do this, force somebody to do that. These are grown adults who were seemingly enjoying all of that dick they were getting. To be honest, you know. So yeah, it looked like, and I hope he gets off. Oh, 'cause I don't want to see anybody get racially targeted. I don't want to see that. So it's very interesting to see how it's going to play out. Let's get a Iman. Get Iman in the building. Iman.
Hey Tariq, a quick question.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the elections in New York, and why do you think most Black people voted for Cuomo?
I think most black people voted for Cuomo.
Yeah, that's what the stats say.
It probably, if that's correct, they just, yeah, I call it lazy voting. They're already Democrats, so we'll just keep voting Democrat. So you got some lazy voters out there, but Cuomo didn't win though. So that's the thing. The other guy won. So uh, enough of those black.
You have any thoughts on him?
Still looking into the guy. I'm still getting more information about the guy. See what's going on. Well, how do you feel about him? What do you think he's going to do policy wise out there?
I don't know. I mean, he's got a lot of he's saying a lot of big things, but we'll see.
No, are you a New
No,
York man?
no, I'm in DC.
So,
But that's all I had, Tariq.
all right. Why
Thanks.
you got an Australian accent? Okay, yeah, this dude had an Australian accent. He might not even be in DC. His ass might be in damn Sydney somewhere. So yeah, you got to watch these folks. All right. Let me see who we got. Let's get Rodney Magwood Jr. Rodney Jr. What's going on, Rodney?
Hey, how you doing, brother
I'm
Tariq?
good, Rodney. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, man. I'm over here in Savannah, Georgia, man, and
Love some,
in the
love some.
yeah, yes sir, yes sir. It's a unique city, you know. It's black run for the most, FBA run for the most part. We don't really have the tethering too much. The Africans haven't invaded the city for the most part,
Yeah.
but uh, but my TikTok is crazy. And I didn't really realize how much hatred you get, man. These folks are really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, and the thing about it is they feel like they're losing something, they missing something, and it's not what they think it is. It's just let us have our reparations, all right, and we just want our word. We want to speak for ourselves. We don't want tethers coming in and saying what they feel like they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no stake in this. But if for some reason they feel like they have a stake in it, and I just don't understand where they get that. Uh, because the countries they come from in such shambles. Why so much energy here? And I'm done. That's all I wanted to say.
Very good point. Yeah, and TikTok, it's a bunch of anti-black or anti-Tariq TikTokers. Boy, they there's a gazillion TikTok videos about me. Boy, these people they elevate me into big power positions in their minds. I'm so rent free in these people's minds. They're really mad because I give people common sense talking points. I just give it straight up and down, man. And plus, I'm a big advocate for my lineage and my ancestors. I have to be. We have to be. Nobody else is going to do it. We have to uplift our people. We have to uplift our lineage. We have to uplift our ancestors. And they feel like I'm waking folks up because they rely on foundational Black Americans to be sleep, to sit up here having a fantasy and a dream about this big old Pan African coalition that's one sided. We're the only ones sitting up here upholding that, and they exploit that. Pan Africanism is them basically coming over here, eating off us. That's all it is. It's one sided. And they got a problem with that. You understand? They're not dumb. They're just upset because now they can't come in and co opt nothing no more. They can't come in and undermine. That's the only reason they're mad. Why else would people be mad at us talking about our lineage? Let's be clear, family. Ain't nobody dumb. These people are not dumb. They're not confused. They're not naive. They know good and well we ain't no group. They know we ain't no cult. That's FBI Fed talk. That's propaganda talk. They know it's a lineage and a powerful lineage, and they've been ruining the day that we wake up and start looking at how powerful our lineage is. We've woken up and we're seeing that our lineage is powerful, and us embracing our lineage and standing on that lineage, that was the deal breaker for them. They've been That's why they've been doing these psyops on us, telling us we're lost, displaced Africans. We are Katas. We don't know where we came from. We ain't got no culture. When people do that, they're trying to run a Jedi mind trick on you. You understand? They're trying to run a that's like a dude's trying, women, let me talk to the women. You know how a dude who tries to break you down and manipulate you so he can control you and say, you ain't that cute. Ain't no other don't want you. Girl, you getting fat. They try to tell you all this stuff to try to bring you down psychologically. You understand? Knowing that you are catch and knowing that if somebody else sees value in you, then it's over for him. You see? They've been doing the same thing with us. They understand the value we have, but they've been running a game and a Jedi mind trick on us so that we don't see the value in ourselves. We see it now, and I want to make sure we see it. You understand? We see it fully, and we've rejected the term African American, so they can't leech off that. African American, horrible term. We should never, ever, ever use that term again. That's what they're really mad at. See, we're not using terms that they can leech off of. So when we start talking about foundational Black American, that's an exclusionary term, which is fine. When you say Jamaican, that's exclusionary. I'm not Jamaican. Respect to the Jamaicans, but I'm not Jamaican. I ain't got a problem being excluded from that. When you say Haitian, that's exclusionary. I'm not Haitian. Don't have a problem with it. You have the Puerto Rican Day Parade. That's that's exclusionary. It's for Puerto Ricans. Don't have a problem with it. But when we say we're foundational Black Americans, you're divisive. The CIA got you niggas want to hurt me. You're stopping global unity. What? Why does our lineage stop all of this global unity? Why don't you just go unify? Why are we stopping your unification? What you're saying is we're stopping the damn gravy train. We're stopping you from coming over here eating off African American lineage, which is vague. See, we ain't using them terms where you can come in and you can be the Westmore of the game. You come in, hey, I'm African American, and guess what? I'm shutting down reparations. We don't need it. Yeah, it's a new game, man. That's what it is. We ain't using African American no more. Number one, that term was not grassroots or organic. That term was introduced by Jesse Jackson through the Democrat strategists in 1988. There was no nationwide discussion among Black Americans. That rollout was from the top. That came from the damn top down. It was pushed through the white media and government agencies as a replacement for Black. You understand? Come on now. What they did, they ran a Jedi mind trick with us. Because you know what they did with African American? They rebranded foundational Black Americans as goddamn immigrants when they did that. They effectively rebranded us as immigrants, equal to an Italian American or an Irish American or a Mexican American. That was a horrible thing. They was a Jedi mind trick they ran on us with that. That's why we reject that term full-fledged, because it erases our distinct lineage. Foundational Black Americans, we are descendants of freedmen. We've been here from the before the beginning of this country. We've been here. We're the only group that has the longest continuous bloodline on this land. You understand? There's been Black people on this land from day one. And when you do that African American thing, that lumps Black immigrants in from Africa and the Caribbean, people who came over voluntarily, people who immigrated to something better. And that comes in and that kind of dilutes our historic trauma and contributions as foundational Black Americans, and it creates policy confusion. And we're saying no. And that opens the door for these non-FBA immigrants to claim benefits meant for foundational Black Americans by using African American broadly, like institutions, colleges, foundations, media, they start awarding scholarships, grants, diversity positions to Black immigrants and their children. That's why in a lot of these Ivy League schools, African American, quote unquote, the student population is dominated by Ghanaians, Nigerians, Jamaicans, all of these other people. We do a Juneteenth program. All of a sudden, everybody has the runners ups and the winners have African last names or Latin last names. So yeah, they want us to be on some old sleep ass African American vibe because everybody can leech off of it. That's a leech term. Yeah. They can use that to co-opt all of the movements we get popping. Civil rights, hip hop, all of these protest movements, they start to get co-opted by these non-FBAs. We get shit popping in the streets like my good brother, rest in peace, Darren Seals, my good FBA brother, who the alphabet folks took my brother out. He was the real seed for the Black Lives Matter movement. Our brother Darren Seals out there in St. Louis, real solid ass dude. That was my nigga, man. That was such a solid brother. He was the real person kicking that off out there with the whole Mike Brown thing. And they started marginalizing him and they started sending them alphabet boys out there to target a lot of the real grassroots activists. And then they started sending tethers out there in front of the media. They started sending these weirdos out here that didn't nobody know. And then they start changing the energy of the message. We're like, hey, justice for Mike Brown, hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter, trans lives matter, immigrant lives matter. Whoa, what's all this shit? Then it just went all the way left. And then all of a sudden they start pushing these weird people saying, hey, these are the leaders of Black Lives Matter. Leaders? What? What you mean leaders? What's that? Watch when people come in and talk about somebody's a leader. See, Black Lives Matter, that was just a phrase. There was really no organization that was centralized called Black Lives Matter. It was some Democrat shills that they put out there in the media and said, hey, these are the leaders. So whatever these people say, and those women were tethers, and they were on some LGBT stuff. So their job was the media was going to elevate them based off the grassroots momentum that foundational Black Americans were kicking in. They went and got these tethers, put them in the media and said, they're the leader of all of this. So all of these people in the streets putting in work, they're doing it for these women's agendas. And the agenda is immigration and LGBT rights. See how all of these people are stumping for that? That's why we're like, no, 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 no. Anybody runs up here trying to be spokespersons, we're checking paperwork now. We're checking paperwork right now. Because we ain't having that bullshit no more. We ain't doing that no more. Yeah. So the thing is, them using the term African American, that wrongly frames foundational Black Americans as foreigners. When you use the term African American, that implies an African origin over American indigenousness. Yeah. That ignores that we built the US economy. We built the infrastructure. We cleared the brush. We cleared the wilderness. We are no goddamn immigrants at all. We should not even be compared to immigrants at all. That's just a fact. We didn't come to something better. We had to get it out the damn mud. We didn't look up. We had to get it. Everything we had to get it out the damn mud as foundational Black Americans. We had to create it. You understand? That's a very unique ethnogenesis shaped on this soil. That's unique. And we're embracing that. We're not going to let our ancestors be disrespected by people coming over, claim jumping the sacrifices they made. They made those sacrifices for their foundational Black American offspring. They did that for us. They didn't do that shit for no goddamn Myron Gaines. and people like him to come over here and disrespect them. We don't allow that to happen, family. See, that's what we messed up. We sat up here and for the longest let these damn tethers disrespect our damn ancestors after all the shit our ancestors did. That's why I'm hell on them niggas. The Myron Gaines, I'm hell on them. I don't play with them at all. Anybody who disrespects our lineage, I got a zero tolerance for that ass. They always run, oh, your Tariq is divisive because I cut your ass down verbally. I'll light your ass up. I'll be divisive because you ain't gonna disrespect my people, my family, who made a way for you to bring your ass over here and you gonna fix your mouth to disrespect? Hell no. My ancestors would have issues with me if I don't stand up knowing the truth. You understand? You defend your ancestors, man. You defend your people. You defend your lineage.
I need some more work, baby, tonight. I need some more work on me tonight.